no days off, no Sabbath, no snakes in my yard, no rabbits. Never let a wishbone grow where a backbone should. Belly been take it a dash on wood. Then payment, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Send the same money to Sudan, I could probably take the hood for a year or two. Stuck between stunting and a miracle. For real. Let's explore the moment. Ain't outside there agoraphobic. If you see me live, you would know it. Jumping on my do aerobics, boss like P90X. Boss like we write the checks now. Floss like we like the flex. Bust down, bust down, bust down. AMG, no bust now. Amiri jeans, SB dunks with a Fiends T, no button down. Respectfully, blasphemy, don't round if you wanna. Round if you wanna. It's a lifestyle, not for you, but it's for me. Bossy.
Bars, I'm gonna go without the ad-libs. In the booth and I like proof and I don't understand what got into me. Got a couple of truths that I bust out the roof if I'm ready to ride on my enemy. And you rappers just stole my identity, and I really know why you ain't feeling me. With Tiffany, and they restore my agility. And I'm never rehearsing, I'm making the verses like Swizzy and Timothy. Never provoke with the go, cause I want all the smoke, you can call me a chimney. And I really want, but I settle for, I just aim it better the widow's peak. Aim at your head when I kill a beat. Spaghetti and shells like Italy.
Never let a wishbone grow where a backbone should. Belly been take it a dash on wood. Then payment, the back end good. Got sense, but they act no good. Send the same money to Sudan, I could probably take the hood for a year or two. Stuck between stunting and a miracle. For real.
I know, close your eyes. Think about your wildest dreams. And you still couldn't do this.
Welcome to your franchise staff. Here you find the staff points can be used across all of your staff. When you have enough staff points, you can begin purchasing talents. Or to see what effect each talent has, highlight it on the talent tree. Some talent trees make you select a path to follow to build your character. Upon purchasing one of these talents,
First off, let me talk my got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my it's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like the law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Last laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm the Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? What? I walk the walk. I talk the talk. I be saying what I want. When I had no.
Today, from Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, it's week 3 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. We'll see Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions.
Not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, it's week 3 of the preseason, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here come the Steelers for the first time in this game with their free agent signing at quarterback, the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
Mitchell Trubisky is getting his second chance to start in the NFL and will be with another storied franchise, this time the Pittsburgh Steelers. He slowly fell out of favor in Chicago after making a Pro Bowl in his second season. But what a lot of people don't realize is that he had a winning record as a starter in each of his last 3 years with the Bears. He convinced a lot of people as a backup in Buffalo, including Pittsburgh, that there's still something to be unlocked in him as a starter.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Finds Pickens out right. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Play action. It's Trubisky. And he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Detroit gets set to go on offense, and it will be the 7th-year pro out of Cal, Jared Goff, leading the attack in his 2nd season as a Lion.
Certainly a different set of circumstances awaited Jared Goff in Detroit last season after his trade from Los Angeles. He made what he could out of them and managed 3 wins on a rebuilding Lions team. They should improve this year behind Goff after an offseason where they made considerable investments in order to try and improve this ball club.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They'll try it now with Swift. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. Right side, Claypool's got it. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Michael Brocker's in on the stop. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll toss to Harris. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Now it's Trubisky. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Trubisky. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 38, Goff. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll work down inside the 45.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Goff on 1st down. Finding Williams once more, complete. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Back to the running game with Swift. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. And he will find his man on the outside. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. First catch so far for the man who led the NFL coming into the weekend. He's got a first down. Williams is in for a Lions touchdown.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
Little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was Jamal Williams who ended things with a touchdown run. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Olszewski going to hold on to this one. Touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again. And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys in. So kind. Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting the second. Here's a diving catch right side. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Go off a handoff here to Swift. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. They go jet sweep here with Chark. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
They'll try the air now with Gong. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Goff. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Had to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Okay, just like that. Just like that. Check, check.
Back to throw. Gone. That's complete. Right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Sliding out of the pocket. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
51, Mike 51. Here we go, T. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
Swift again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift taking it in from a yard out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Gunnar Olszewski bringing it out. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. A reminder, opening weekend definitely in sight now. Thursday, September 8th, that's when it all gets going. The defending champs, LA Rams, hosting the team that many think could win the AFC, the Buffalo Bills. Charles and I will be there, and then we got some great matchups on that Sunday as well. Kansas City and Arizona, Raiders and the Chargers, and on Sunday night, Tom Brady, he's back, and his Bucs are heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go play action with Trubisky. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. They'll run again with Harris. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, end with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Now he's looking just to add to his totals. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Check. Ready. Check. 55. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And Sharp calls it in. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Cross throw going into the hands of Williams. That'll give them 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays. That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. This is Swift on the counter. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Goff flushed out right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Goff. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. On 4th down, Goff. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
From the red zone now, Goff out to his left. This is caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. T.J. Hawkinson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. On the handoff, this is Swift. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Goff now looks to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hawkinson. He's going to have the first down and then some. Touchdown! T.J. Hawkinson ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Lions continue to pull away here in this first half.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Now on 2nd and 13. Trubisky. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Here's Freiermuth again. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Trubisky's throw complete to Freiermuth. Down inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, a 22.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Harris. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Again, it's Harris. And this time he's not going anywhere. In fact, he'll lose yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Snell is into the end zone for a Steeler touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put it into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And oh, it's blocked. This is going the other way. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and he dives into the end zone and gets the 2 points. You figure with a veteran kicker out there, these extra points almost automatic, but this one turns into 2 points the other way.
And we both know it's hard to put it on him. I think there was a breakdown in the protection, but guess what? It does go against his record.
Following the botch, P8. They're set to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So out now come the Lions. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow, and I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Goff now looking to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Goff linking up with Chark for a Lions first down.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Throwing again is Goff. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 32-yard line. Out of the gun, Goff. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Goff. Funches has it complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's a handoff to Swift. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now it's Goff. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's Goff. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself from opposition so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend. And then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive. Something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back. For quarter number 3. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Running is Swift, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Coming across the formation and making the catch is Chark. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Swift. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 97 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now it's Goff off the bootleg, rolling to his right. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
On second down, Swift. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Swift. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pick.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jason Kabinda. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. The bottom line is it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Harris running straight ahead. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Gets around him. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. Oh, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches,
up a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Play action. It's Goff. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Off play action. Here's Goff. He finds Funchess.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Goff. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. 1st and 10 here for Trubisky and the Steelers at their own 37. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Now the ball comes loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold onto the football while being jostled?
The pickup there, 5 yards. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Trubisky, it's complete, it's Miller. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Trubisky
throws the out route and finds Claypool.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Boswell's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
And yet again, Goff is intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Sutton. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
53 yards on the ground for him so far. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. 9 yards that time.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Near the sideline, and it's caught by Miller. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Now Trubisky dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Detroit's offense ready to take over. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Goff now to throw. Steps away. His throw incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. He's got it to the 43 here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Six yards left on 2nd down. On a jet sweep, here comes Chark. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Go, Todd! 180! Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. He's coming. Double up, double up.
Go off a handoff here to Swift. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Goff. It's caught by Funchess. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The quick slant caught. And the Lions are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. To the air on first down with Pickett. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Pickett will look to throw it here. Open, and it's a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now out come the Steelers. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Dialing up another pass here. Pickett.
And he comes back with one complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43.
Pickett now on first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
To throw again on second down.
Pickett, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Don't give him nothing. Don't give him nothing.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 14. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. Looking to throw. Boyle. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Josh Reynolds, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Lions continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always comes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Pickett, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First target, first catch at a first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but They can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Pickett, quick hitter here. It's complete. On the move past the 40. Still going inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal. Now here's Snell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Benny Snell, ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Boswell good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Raymond bringing it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Again, it's Williams. And some room to roam now. Past the 20. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. That's the run he's been waiting for, Charles. He's been bottled up all game. That run alone got him more yards than he had in all his previous carries combined.
And don't think for a second he doesn't know that, because every back that I know can almost calculate every yard with every step that they take. He had to be frustrated because of what's happened during the game. Has to feel a lot better after that run.
Williams going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
41 Mike. Let's go, D.
Williams. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. On fourth down, Boyle. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. James Mitchell. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Steelers set to take the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
From the 35 on second down. Pickett looking left side, and he's got Sternberger. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. So the call there, roughing the passer.
Well, the preseason's time for working out the kinks, but sometimes you've got some defenders who are too eager to impress, trying to make this team. And that time we saw one take a shot at the quarterback way too late.
Pickett to throw on first down. He finds Austin complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Looking to throw, Pickett. Making the catch is Sternberger. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Pickett back to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Pickett, slant route to Miller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Now left side on the swing pass. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 9. Pickett, he's going to throw it again. And he coughed it up. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he wants Reynolds way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 36 yards on the play.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
41 Mike. Hey, pick your game up.
And here comes Reynolds as they try the jet sweep. And some room to work. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And give him a gain of 37. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Williams will try again. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they've wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Seibert on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Jamal Williams who ended things with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Pickett. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it, turn upfield, and pick up the first down.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. They'll throw again with Pickett. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett, and he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's it. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, he turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes, and that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. One final shot for Pickett. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Steelers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we say so long from Pittsburgh.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Food from all of the base. My 8-spoon goon big son told me about the game. 20 years later, throw my